Hi, third graders. It's Miss Waldeck. Let's get into Chapter 8, Lesson 3. Divide by 6 and 7. In our last lesson, you guys practiced multiplying with 6 and 7, and now we are going to divide. Let's take a look at example number 1. It says, Paco set each picnic table with 6 dinner plates. He used 24 plates to set the tables. How many tables did he set? And we are going to try to find 24 divided by 6. We know that he used 24 plates total, and each table had 6 plates. And we want to find out how many tables there were. We're going to take a look at 2 different ways we could find this out. The first way is to draw an array. Or an array is just a fancy word of saying to draw a picture. But before we start drawing, let's think about a related multiplication fact. 6 times what equals 24? If you think you know the answer, well, let's draw our picture now to see if that answer matches your multiplication fact. So in our picture, each column represents one table. And we know that each table has 6 dinner plates. That's what they told us in the first example. So we are going to have to draw 6 columns. I'm going to just number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are going to be my 6 columns. Those represent 6 dinner plates on one table. Now, let's take the 24 plates and separate them evenly. I'm going to count them all out, and you draw this picture with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I used all my 24 plates. Remember when I asked you to think about our multiplication fact? If you said 6 times 4 is 24, then you are right. And if I take a look at the array that I made, there are 4 tables total that each get 6 plates. So that means that there will be 4 tables. So we actually kind of used 2 different strategies in this first example. We used a related multiplication fact, and we drew a picture to help us find the answer. 24 plates total with 6 plates on each table means that there are going to be 4 tables. Well, let's look at another potential way that we could solve this division problem. You could use repeated subtraction. You can skip count backwards. Draw the arrows to represent equal groups of 6. So I would skip count backwards. I'm going to start at 24. I'm going to start at 24 and skip count backwards until I get to 0. And I'm going to subtract 6 each time. I'm going to start at 24. 24 subtract 6 is 18. Oops, let me get my pen. Is 18. I went back one time. 18 subtract 6 is 12. All right, I went back 2 times. 12 minus 6 is 6. That's 3 times. And 6 minus 6 is 0. Once I get to 0, I know I'm done. I went backwards 4 different times. There are 4 groups of 6 in 24. So 24 divided by 6 is equal to 4. Paco set 4 tables. So when we move on to the next page, you use what works for you. You can draw an array, you can skip count backwards using repeated subtraction, or you can always think about a related multiplication fact. Let's take a look at page number 2. All right, example 2 says, Mr. Jeremiah has 21 reports to grade. He will grade the same number of reports each day for 7 days. How many reports will he grade each day? Again, we are going to try to find the unknown. We want to find what 21 divided by 7 is. We can use the inverse operation of multiplication to find the unknown factor. Or think about it in terms of what is 7 times something equals 21. We're trying to do division, 21 divided by 7 equals, but if we're not sure how to do the division yet, we can just rearrange the numbers and make a multiplication problem. Then it might be easier to solve. I know that 7 times 3 is 21. So that means that 21 divided by 7 must be 3. When we use inverse operations, we can only use the same 3 numbers. The unknown is 3. Mr. Jeremiah will grade 3 reports each day. All right, let's move on to the guided practice and continue our practice with dividing by 6 and 7. For number 1 in the guided practice, it says divide. Write a related multiplication fact. We want to know what 18 divided by 6 is. Well, they drew an array for us. They gave us 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to write really small. 5, 6. 6 different columns. And if I look at how many triangles are in the column, I know how many times 6 goes into 18 evenly. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Now, let's write a related multiplication fact. Remember, if we do the inverse operation, which just means the opposite, we can only use the same 3 numbers. So here is our division. Let's move some numbers around to make it into multiplication. 6 times an unknown number is going to give us 18. Well, I used my 6, I used my 18. The only number left to use is my 3. If 18 divided by 6 is 3, that means 6 times 3 equals 18. Now let's take a look at numbers 2 and 3. I see number lines. We are going to use repeated subtraction to divide, and they want us to draw the arrows. We want to know what 12 divided by 6 is equal to. So I need to start at 12. I am going to subtract in groups of 6 until I get to 0. So 12 subtract 6 is 6. 6 subtract 6 is 0. I got to 0. I can't subtract anymore. I went back once, twice. There are 2 groups of 6 in 12. That means that 12 divided by 6 is 2. Let's try one more together. 7 divided by 7. Again, I'm going to start at 7, and I need to subtract this time by 7 until I get to 0. 7 minus 7 is already 0. I only went back with a group of 7 one time. That means there is one group of 7 in 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. All right, you guys. Now that we're done with our guided practice, you need to go on and do the 2 independent practice pages on your own. Once you're done, check the next page in our Nearpod for the answers. Again, in the independent practice, it might ask you to use a related multiplication fact to help you to divide. It might ask you to draw a picture, or it might ask you to use repeated subtraction. So make sure you follow the directions carefully. Again, when you're done, check the answers on the next slide of the Nearpod, and then you can go ahead and work on the homework for Chapter 8, Lesson 3. All right, you guys, good job today.